Welcome back to Behind the Music of a SalvWreck Christmas, Volume 8. Today on this episode, we're talking about Heartbeat. This is the first track with me and Mr. Morgan, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, this instrumental I had for a little bit, and I really didn't know what to do with it, you know what I mean? So I said, you know what, let me send it out to a couple singers that I know. And Mr. Morgan was the one who responded back. I sent it to Patricia. I sent it to Alex, and I forget who the third person I sent it to. I sent it out to 3 different people. Mr. Morgan was the one who came back with the interest about it, you know what I mean? So that's who I gave the track to. And that's pretty much how the whole project and studio tour came about also, because when I sent out the emails to the different recording studios that I wanted to go to, I only dealt with those who responded back. I mean, I did a whole bunch of studios I sent things to in each state, but those who responded was the ones who got placed on the tour, you know what I mean? That's just me following the Lord's direction on this, you know what I mean? And so I gave the track to Mr. Morgan. I said, you got plenty of time. This is like, whew, this is like last winter I gave him the track. I said, well, I'm not even gonna start recording this stuff to like, you know what I mean, to like after the summertime. So we got plenty of time, you know what I mean? And so I gave him the track and just kind of left it at that. Reached back out to him and he said, well, I got a hook for it, you know what I mean? I really don't have no verses for it. I was like, that's fine, don't worry about the verses. You know what I mean? I have something else for you, you know what I mean? So that's when I gave him the Fall in Love Again to start learning and working on that. But so he sent me a rough of his verse, of his hook rather, his chorus. And I said, oh, I'm feeling that, you know what I mean? So I kind of remember what he was singing about, and I kind of took his reference and I tried to laid it on the track as best I could, you know what I mean? Space it out a little bit just to see how it worked the beat a little bit. And I was like, well, that's not really working, you know what I mean? Because I don't really know how he's delivering these things on the beat, you know what I mean? So I had my own thoughts and concept of how his chorus fits on the track. And so with that, I said, okay, well, he talked about being there in a heartbeat. So I said, this has to be like a Superman coming to the rescue type kind of thing for my wife and for those who's in heterosexual relationships, not homosexual, because that's not my lifestyle that I practice, you know what I mean? So anytime you hear me talk about relationship things, it's always heterosexual, you know what I mean? If y'all take and adapt it to your homosexual situation, that's on you. That has nothing to do with me. That's between you and the Lord, you know what I mean? But my work is for male and female couples, you know what I mean? So I wrote this as, I was trying to think back to when me and my wife was dating, you know what I mean? And I had to come to her rescue, you know what I mean? I had to rescue her from that drab existence that she was living with her parents, her pops really, you know what I mean? Her pops put her through a lot, you know what I mean? And so she had some psychological damage, you know what I mean? And I had to come to her rescue. So that's what that track was about, man. And she could tell you to this day, I think out of all the boyfriends she's ever had, I'm the only one who went through the fire with her, you know what I mean? And stuck it out. I love her, you know what I mean? So of course I'm gonna stand there in the fire with you, you know what I mean? So that's what the track is, man. It's about me coming to the rescue, you know what I mean? The Mighty Mouse, you know what I mean? I'm coming through busting in through the building that's on fire and come grip you up and pull you out of it, you know what I mean? So that's what the track was, man. We recorded this in Gradwell house in New Jersey. I think this was the first track we did. Yeah, Heartbeat was the first track we did, you know what I mean? Excuse me. And so I laid down the verses. Like how I like to record is very vigorous. It's a workout, you know what I mean? I loop record, so I like to say the whole thing a couple times so it feels like I'm getting the flow of it right. And then I go back and do every other line. Then I come back and do a couple more times, you know what I mean? So my stacks of takes can get deep sometimes, especially if I'm tripping up on words and phrasing, you know what I mean? I'll just keep going at it, you know what I mean? So we got that track done. At that session, I think everybody was just recovering from a cold, you know what I mean? So we was passing them halls around, you know what I mean? And that's how we did it, man. That's the first time I used double mic technique on the singing vocals. We had the R44 and the 414, you know what I mean? In parallel, you know what I mean? So that's how he recorded his vocals. But for me, I just use the 414 because I like how it does my voice. Don't get confused with these people say, oh, you got to get the U87. That's the best mic in the world to use. It might not be the best mic for your voice. You know what I mean? Like, I really didn't like the U87 when I tried it at Camden County. But in New York, it sounded great. You know what I mean? I guess it has to do with the environment too. That mic can be picky about where you place it at. You know what I mean? So I recorded my verses. He came in and dropped his chorus behind it. You know what I mean? And that's how that track came about, man. It was a fun track, man. I make a lot of anime references in there. At the time, I've been watching My Hero Academia. I can't talk. And so, you know, that All Might line is in there. I had just got done watching Dragon Ball Z, so that was in there. No, Dragon Ball. I watched the original Dragon Ball, so that was in there. You know what I mean? And it was just a fun track for me to do, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed it too, man.